All right, all right. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my name is Derek Brown. I reside in Atlanta, Georgia, and tonight I have the distinct pleasure to share with you all what we feel is the most phenomenal opportunity, bar none, on the face of this planet. So I want to give a very special welcome to our first time listeners. You guys are definitely in for a special treat. Now, I do want to give a quick disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. And as always, past performance is never indicative of future results as well. However, we do show people how to use common sense so they can literally change their financial futures. So, with that, again, welcome, welcome. And we're going to jump right into this. Now, I've had several years of experience as well in this space. I've been in this space for, I need to start saying, well over 35 years, kind of telling my age, but had tremendous success. This industry has allowed me to literally just manifest just about any and everything that I can think of, to be frank with you. As I said, I've been in the industry well over 35 years, but I have to be very frank. While I had tremendous success, I am no different than anyone else within the sound of my voice. Listen, I did everything that Mama Brown told me to do, just like you did. Mama Brown told me I better go to school to get a good education so I can get a good job and get out of her house. Well, I did all that. And I have to be honest with you, I was a little disillusioned after doing so, and the reasons why I'm sure you would be able to relate to. Number one, I wasn't happy where I found myself after working in corporate America for several years because I didn't have the time freedom I felt I really needed to have with my family. I was getting up at dark 30 in the morning, getting home at dark 30 at night. How many of you guys can relate to that? I'm driving to work and it's pitch black dark, and I'm seeing red lights going this way, white lights coming this way. And, it literally just put me in a position where I realized I was giving the best part of my day to a company, helping them hit their targets and reach their goals while they had no concern of what my personal vision was for my family. Again, I know a lot of you guys can relate to that. The other thing that I was unhappy with was the fact I wasn't satisfied with the income that I was making. I just have to be honest. We look good on the outside, but on the first of every month, we be behind closed doors fussing like cats and dogs, right? Because, we're trying to figure out how to make ends meet, and those ends seem like they were always burning at both ends. And so, with that, I was blessed to meet a gentleman who was making more in a month than I was making in a year. This is a true story. He was literally making more in a month than I was making all year. And that got my attention, as I'm sure would have gotten yours. Think about it. And so, he said, Derek, long story short, I'm going to show you how to work smart and not just work hard. And that's when I was introduced to this home based business industry. And what I found was that this is the only space that will allow an average person to be aligned, if they're coachable and teachable, to be able to make way above average income. And so I found a system that would allow me to work with individuals, and we work as one band following one sound, but we are benefiting tremendously in our individual households. So to be frank with you, after some years of even being in the industry, especially the past few years, the industry started getting, I didn't even want to be known as a marketer, network marketer. I'm going to be honest with you, because of the lack of integrity with some so-called leaders, because of so many rug pulls and just so many disgruntled and unscrupulous things that were going on. The industry itself was still what it was, but there were people that was giving it a black eye. And so I was so thrilled to find this particular platform. And one of the things we say is, you know, Bellator is a home for the wounded warriors. Definitely, if you have no experience at all, then you're definitely the one. Trust me. But for those who've had experience in this industry, this is a home for wounded warriors. We're bringing fun and integrity back to the space, and in the next few moments, you're going to see why and how. All right. So the first question I have for you this evening, I didn't mean to do that, is understand You don't have to be smart to become a millionaire. No, I'm just kidding. So, I don't even know if y'all could see what I had just done, but I almost blanked my whole presentation out. So the first question that I have for you this evening, whether you're a seasoned investor or you purchase cryptocurrency at a large rate and you speculate, what that means is hoping that it's going to increase. The fact is are you earning cryptocurrency daily? And the reason why I ask this question, even to the individual and especially to those who don't even know what the blockchain or cryptocurrency is, what you have to realize right now, today, is that we're not on the way to a digital society. We are in a digital society right now. And so, with that, you want to understand that the greatest invention of our lifetime is the blockchain, is cryptocurrency. As a matter of fact, one of the things I always say is because the blockchain is immutable, it can't be cheated or hacked. It is the most open and fair ledger, a global ledger where everybody can see transactions, what's going on. I'll know when they're ready to make our voting system completely transparent because all they got to do is put it on the blockchain and we shouldn't have to stand in lines to vote. You should be able to vote right over your phone, right? So, with that being said, you want to understand that I don't get into politics, but our current administration, our president, has made a statement. He said he is going to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. So it's not something that you need to continue to ignore, like I did with CDs. I'm going to be honest with you. As a kid, I remember when CDs came out. That's kind of telling my age too, because I listened to a cassette tape for about a year after I knew they had CDs. And then when I paid attention one day, I got in my friend's car, I heard the quality of a CD. I was like, oh my God, I slung my cassette tape out the window, right? So don't be that person that's kind of putting your head in the sand because you want to get in front of the wave with cryptocurrency. And now, if you get in front of a wave, what can you do? You can ride it. You can ride it to your financial freedom because it's not coming, it is here. Okay. So, the first thing I want you guys to understand is this is unlike anything you've ever heard before. For my first time viewers, I'm going to say it again. This is unlike anything you've ever heard before because nobody's ever done what we've accomplished, number one. So this isn't some crypto trading platform. We don't trade crypto. We don't buy crypto praying that it's going to go up, right? But we do have a system where you can acquire a piece of software, a technology in the fintech space that has real world value, not just working in our ecosystem and everybody in our little happy world are the only ones benefiting from it. No, I'm going to need you to pay close attention because understand when crypto first started in its infancy, people used to buy these machines, right? They were called miners, Bitcoin miners, and they were cumbersome, they were expensive, and they would shoot your electricity bill through the roof. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Well, we're in a new age, even in the cryptocurrency space, where you can simply acquire a piece of technology. You don't have to get all that hardware. You can get a software now where you don't have to do any of that after you acquire it, and you'll continue to get paid. It's like purchasing a digital vending machine. So this gentleman, he's not affiliated with us. However, he's going to eloquently explain exactly what our main product does. All right, so I want you to understand this. My job in this short conversation we're about to have is not to give you everything. If I tried to give you everything on our ecosystem, we'd be here till Tuesday morning. Trust me, right? But to give you enough information to make an educated decision to assume an equity position tonight. That's my goal. We're not talking about first of the year. We're not talking about, 2 months down the road. We're talking about tonight. Okay? That's how confident I am and the person that invited you is in the information that you're about to see. So I'm going to need you to do me a huge favor. We're going to need to take our egos off for a moment and sit them to the side just for this presentation. And we're going to need to put on our business hats because the only thing that will allow somebody either not to see or say no to what you're about to witness is ego. So with that, I have a series of short clips that you need to pay close attention to. So I told you this is going to be a short conversation. All right. So we're going to play the first one and we're going to get to it. Turn your speakers up and pay close attention. Here we go.
Did make millions of dollars in crypto, but I don't trade crypto and I don't buy crypto. I make it. So I started making Bitcoin at $220. That in itself is crazy. So we started mining Bitcoin. We were making a lot of money. We were like, man, if Bitcoin ever gets to $10,000, we're going to be rich. This guy that was mentoring me, he was worth $100 million. I became one of his top guys. And at that time, I didn't know anybody worth that kind of money. It just sounds preposterous to the average person. For the next 7 years, I learned software instead of hardware mining. So when you mine Bitcoin, you have a physical piece of machine. You plug it into the network. It confirms transactions, you make Bitcoin. On the platform that we launched, which was a company called Gala Games, we worked with Snoop, the death row chain that Snoop gave me, kind of crazy. And instead of hardware, we had software. So these software nodes will confirm transactions on the blockchain. Every time you buy something on that blockchain, sell something, move some money back and forth, there's a fee. That fee goes up in the cloud and it's split evenly between the node owners. So that very first blockchain that we launched, I only put 15,000 in. And for 2.5 years, those nodes just confirmed transactions. I had about 17 million tokens in my wallet. I watched it go from less than a penny to 5 cents, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 84 cents in a matter of like 5 months. So I went from $11,000 in software nodes to having over 11.4 million liquid currency.
Wow. From 11,000 in software nodes to 11.4 million in liquid currency in 5 months. Are you kidding me? All right. So, and by the way, if my sound's not good, somebody please let me know in the chat if the sound on the videos, okay? I'm trying to remember whether or not I actually hit a button, and let me do this. Let me just double check it very, very quickly. How about that? As I always say, nothing worse than thinking you're doing the best presentation in the world, and then you find out the sound was horrible and nobody heard it. All right, let's see here. Let me make sure. All right, yes, we are good to go. Okay. So the next question I have for you all, phenomenal clip, wasn't that? He just eloquently explained exactly what happens with nodes. So now I have another question for you. What if you could participate in the largest industry on the planet and you could generate a passive income stream that would outlive your grandchildren? Think about that, because the fact is your job is not going to allow you to do that. You can't generate a passive income stream from your job. When your job ends or when you end or when you leave it, that's it. So if you could generate a passive income stream that would outlive your children's children, you're living. I'm not a scholar in this area, but there's a phenomenal book out there that says a good man or woman leaves an inheritance for who? Their children's children. That means we're not just supposed to be concerned about the little knuckleheads that are at our immediate reach, which is our kids, right? We're supposed to be laying up in store or earning enough to already have funds in place for our unborn or our born grandchildren. Think about that. So now also, what if there was a limited amount of time to purchase the product, and you purchase the product one time and you can get paid for it for life? What would you do? Would you take action or would you procrastinate? You see, because we miss Bitcoin, we miss Amazon, right? We miss Tesla. And I know you did, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be on this call tonight. Same with me. We'd already be on our own island somewhere. So would you be able to recognize if the ship is coming back around, give you another opportunity? Let me make sure we've got our call muted properly. Want to make sure we keep the integrity of this, and we are recording. So with that, what would you do? Think about that as we quickly move forward through this information. So again, I'm here to explain what we feel is the best opportunity on the planet. That is Bellator and Miracle Cash and more, okay? Which are all under, our entire ecosystem is under Metaterra, and I'll explain that briefly at the end as well. So before you even get to understand what Bellator is, you have to get a clear picture of what Miracle Cash and more is all about, all right? So again, I want you to turn up your speakers, because this short clip is going to give you key insight why this is a true opportunity for you and myself. Here we go.
Dear Bellator family, we wanted to share some key insights to help you better understand the true value of the opportunity you are part of. the foundation of Miracle Cash and More. Miracle Cash and More began its journey in 2017 with a clear vision to become a global fintech powerhouse, not just a traditional bank. Our starting point was the development of a core banking system, also known as a switch in the financial industry. This system consists of millions of lines of code. It took 3 years and over $5 million to develop. We built a mid-level core banking system from the ground up. Why is this significant? Because we own the technology. We are not leasing or dependent on third parties, which saves costs and provides flexibility. When you invest your time in a company, that company should deserve your time and effort by providing real sustainable value. What has the company invested to create an opportunity for you? Who is the actual customer? If it's just you, then it's not a real business. It's a cycle destined to fail. Most crypto MLMs have failed because they start with a compensation plan and then pick a product that fits. Their focus isn't on solving real-world problems, but on making quick money. That's not sustainable. Miracle Cash and More is not an MLM. It's a fintech company offering real services to merchants. Bellator is the marketing arm, designed to help expand Miracle's reach. This gives us the best of both worlds. A company with real products and services. A network marketing structure to help spread the word and reward those who grow the network.
Absolutely phenomenal. Very, very key insights. So tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand that Miracle Cash and More is an 8-year-old rock-solid company with 100+ employees. Over 90 million already invested into the platform. Fully licensed and insured, highly regulated globally, and we have physical brick and mortar locations around the world. As a matter of fact, this is a screenshot of the first one that we opened, and it's in Amsterdam. And right here, you can see the address and the phone number. So these stores, well, I'll get to the details of the stores in a moment. What I want you to pay attention to that was mentioned in that first clip, you see this brain, it says banking core. That's the switch that they were referring to in the video. So as you can see, our entire ecosystem is tethered to and operated through this core banking system or switch. And the only other entity on the planet that has a switch is the central banks. That's right. Outside of the central bank, Miracle Cash and More is the only entity on the planet that has a banking core or a switch. Well, what does a switch do? Well, number one, it puts us in position to obviously become our own banks, to be able to bank the unbanked around the world. But most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, what Miracle Cash and More has done is allowed every business to be able to receive cryptocurrency as a form of payment. And I'm going to give you the big aha moment and tie that together in just a moment. Again, now businesses can receive cryptocurrency as a form of payment. We'll get into that in more detail as well. Understand, we already have a global presence. These are pictures of the fronts of our other stores around the world. And these are a few shots of the insides of some of them as well. Okay? So now I want you to understand why this switch was built, what it took, because there are no third-party investors, as you heard in the first clip. And I want you to understand why we have the competitive edge. And really, I like to say the fact of the matter is we have no competition. Okay? So again, turn your speakers up, another short clip, pay close attention because there's going to be some things that are flashing quickly. And I know you're not going to catch it all. That's fine. I'm going to clean it up and bring it home for you. But again, turn your speakers up, pay close attention, and we're going to keep trucking.
We built our own switch. No third-party licensing required. Handles crypto transactions directly with customizable merchant admin panels. Offers higher APRs than traditional banks, making us the crypto bank for merchants. Secure and efficient transaction management. Continuous updates to benefit both customers and merchants. These companies represent over 100 million active accounts, and our technology is installed in all of these machines. This is a huge victory and a clear sign that we are leading the way in the industry. This is why it takes time to be the best. Building something of this magnitude isn't easy. It requires patience, dedication, and relentless hard work. But the results speak for themselves.
Absolutely phenomenal. Now, something that flashed on the screen, it said, because of who we are and what we've accomplished, we're trying to get some people to help us secure. No, it didn't say that. It said, we're trying to maybe close. No, it didn't say that. It said, because of who we are, what we've accomplished, we have secured 4 of the largest POS device companies in the world. Those 4 companies, ladies and gentlemen, I know it flashed quick, but this is why I'm going to break it down to you. They were Ingenico, Pax, NCR, and Verifone, the 4 largest POS device companies in the world. What's a POS device? Well, whenever you tap, swipe, or insert your card, make sure somebody's still unmuted. Would you guys please make sure you mute your system? I'm pretty sure I see what I did. There we go. Boom, that's taken care of. Want to make sure we keep the integrity of the call. And just a little housekeeping training. Whenever you join any type of meeting, especially an online meeting, make sure you mute the line so we can keep the integrity of the call. Nothing worse than us hearing you beat your kids in the background, you washing dishes. We had people taking showers while the meeting's going on, so just a little training note, all right? But so these, what a POS device system is whenever you tap, swipe, or insert your card, and then you have to put your PIN number in, that's a point of sale. That's why it's called POS system. We already got the 4 largest companies locked in. Somebody said, well, I don't like to talk about it either. I love to be about it. Here you go. This is a screenshot from Ingenico's website. This is not our website. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, right? Look, they're in 120 countries, and they have over 40 million terminals deployed globally. You want the proof in the pudding? Bam. We are already on their website, slated to be the access for their businesses to be able to receive cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Are you kidding me? So now this is a quick clip that where Ingenico sent one of their new POS devices to our CEO, and he's unboxing it. I want you to take a look at this and pay close attention to where we're located within the software.
Hey everyone, take a look at this. We just got a few of these machines shipped to us. It's the new Ingenico machine. And then when we turned it on, look at that. Look at that. How amazing is that? We're literally preloaded, not in the App Store, but actually on the device itself. You hit that, there you go. Isn't that incredible? Wow.
Wow is right. So I want to bring this home for you now, right? I want you to understand why everything that's been discussed so far matters to you and myself, right? And what it took to do this. Because right now you're saying, all right, well, Derek, this all sounds good. Well, I'm about to tune in to your most favorite radio station right now. I know what it is. It's WIFM. What's in it for me? Right? Again, pay close attention. Turn your speakers up. Here we go.
Many people don't have the experience to evaluate real opportunities. That's why we're committed to educating you while also sharing the potential of our company. We're not just another crypto project. We are a real company with real customers delivering real services. This document is for you, to help you recognize the difference between a fleeting opportunity and something that is truly deserving of your time and effort. We're proud to say we're just getting started. With our infrastructure in place, we're ready to scale globally. In the world of transactional finance, a switch, also known as a core banking system, is the central infrastructure that manages and routes financial transactions between different entities such as banks, payment processors, merchants, and card networks. When a customer swipes their card, taps their phone, or makes an online payment, the transaction request is generated and sent to the switch. The switch acts as the middleman. It receives the transaction data and routes it to the correct financial institution, e.g. the customer's bank, for authorization. Once the issuing bank processes the request, either approving or declining the transaction, the switch relays the response back to the point of sale, POS, terminal, or online platform almost instantly. After authorization, the switch helps settle the transaction, ensuring the funds are correctly transferred from the customer's bank to the merchant's account. The switch ensures transactions are secure, encrypted, and compliant with financial regulations like PCI DSS for card payments and KYC AML protocols for anti-fraud measures.
Absolutely phenomenal. Let's bring it home. So what most people don't realize, ladies and gentlemen, and to also tie the whole thing together, even starting from the very first clip of the gentleman that I showed that explained how the node works. Well, most people don't realize whenever you tap, swipe, or insert your card, you're paying for your groceries at the grocery store. You're getting your gas. Number one, guess what? Nobody has to be trained to do that, right? I want you to think about that. So we're on the right side of business, which is transactions. It doesn't matter if the market goes up. And it doesn't matter if it crashes down. It doesn't matter if it goes left or right. We're positioning ourselves to be on the right side of transactions by acquiring a node that validates what people are going to do anyway, which is get their gas, pick up their dry cleaning, pay for their rent or their mortgage. Are you kidding me? I saw that our CEO was a genius, not by starting some platform. And listen, we all been there, right? Where you put in $1,000, you're making 1% a day, and you'll be a millionaire in 90 days. Well, number one, the company ain't going to be there for 90 days. And number two, it doesn't mathematically make sense. If you ever did the numbers, there's not enough money on the planet to make sure everybody even got that money. There's not enough money on the planet. I think I said numbers. So with that being said, we have to stop jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, looking for the next flashy hot thing. It's right in front of you right now. And this is a safe haven that will allow you to work smart and not work hard, where you acquire this software one time and get paid for life. So what you're doing is you're acquiring a digital vending machine that is basically giving you and your family a toll booth on the blockchain superhighway, where every time people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. See, this is the major difference. This technology, I've seen people try to do it, nobody's accomplished it. The major difference is, yes, people have nodes, but their nodes don't validate everyday transactions. Their nodes validate transactions within their ecosystem. Huge difference. Huge difference. So now, when you tap, swipe, or insert your card, what people don't realize is there's a signal that's going from that store, from that POS device to the switch, right? The banking core. That core is then routing it to your bank to verify that you're the account holder and to verify that you got the $25 in there to pay for your groceries, right? Then it says yes, sends a signal back to the switch, the brain, and then the brain or the core sends a signal back to the POS device and approves your transaction. Well, what people don't realize, your bill was $25 and that's all you're going to pay, right? But on the back end, there are fees being paid. The business that you're at has to pay that card company that you use a transaction fee. And here's the deal. Now I understand why Visa, MasterCard, Discover, Amex, all the little other banks out there that allow us to get these cards. I understand why they're financial behemoths now, because they're charging 3-4% plus 10 cents per transaction. Are you kidding me? So the right end of business is to be on is the transactional side where you get paid regardless. I hope you get that, right? So now that you have some clarity on what Miracle Cash and More does, now I want to explain Bellator to you. So we have Miracle Cash and More, right? Which is the technology, as it said in the video clearly. This isn't a network marketing or an MLM company, right? This is where the 100 employees, are. This is where the technology and the brain is. But then and this is an 8-year-old rock solid company, right, in the fintech space with a real world application. But then we have Bellator, which is the marketing arm of Miracle Cash and More. And the only way to get the products of Miracle Cash and More, you have to come through Bellator, right? Now, Bellator has a phenomenal compensation program. I'm going to go through it in detail openly for the first time tonight. It launched December 24th of last year. That means it's 1 year old. So for those of you that are marketers, you want to catch a marketing opportunity at the very beginning. I say it's a ground floor opportunity, but it's really not. It's down in the basement. As a matter of fact, it's lower than that. It's in the substrata levels, right? Now, there's no attrition. This was one of the things that allowed me to make my final decision, because in this industry, there's a statistic that says it's over 90% of the people that step into this industry, even though it's the most phenomenal industry on the planet, most people fail. Most people are paying more a month of some funky auto ship than they're actually making. Right? Let me give you an example. Why I was single. This is years ago, 100 years ago. And I found this phenomenal juice, health product, right? And it was great. It worked for me. I'm the type of person, if something doesn't work, I can't talk about it. Well, I only needed one bottle. But they said, no, you got to get a whole case. I started talking to a few people and building a little bit. They said, if you want to get this check, you got to buy a whole case. I said, I only need one bottle. I said, well, what you do is you sell the other three. Oh, now I got to turn to a salesman and start slinging juice to my friends and family. Are you kidding me? I got to buy a whole case of this juice to get this little funky check. And you're charging a website fee, and it costs money for me to even sign up. Y'all remember when it was either $4.99 or $14.99 to get started, plus you had to buy product. Then they're going to hit your card every month for auto ship. Then they charge you $30 and $50 for a replicated website. Bellator doesn't play any of those games. I just told you we're a home for the wounded warriors. The games are over. There's no time to play. There's no fee to sign up. There's no monthly fee, right? There's no website fees. There are no gotchas, because this company is real and has a real product, so they don't have to penny pinch us or have a comp plan where we're getting pencil whipped, right? The comp plan looks great on paper, but then when you get into it, it's horrible. I call that getting pencil whipped, right? This is why I'm going to break it down tonight. So understand, what Bellator has done is flip that traditional statistic on its ear. I've been around, I've seen it all. No one has ever been able to say this. Well, they'll tell a lie and say, oh, we got a 92% reorder rate. Those are reps that are reordering because they got to get their doggone check. Are you kidding me? Right? So the statistic where I said over 90% of people fail, Bellator's flipped it over. 100% of the people, 100% of the time, will succeed in Bellator if they acquired a node. There's no way you can fail. Every single person is going to make money, whether they talk to a soul or not. Are you kidding me? No attrition, right? And here's the other thing. Have you ever had a leader leave a company and it causes a vacuum? A bunch of people leave. I've seen companies fold because of that. And then a bunch of people go with them. So if you try to stay hanging, your check is diminishing, right? Well, what the leader didn't tell you is they offered him a 6-figure check, number one, didn't break you off a dime. And in addition to that, here's what Bellator, how they flip that on their ear. Whether you got 2 people or 20,000 people, listen to me close. All 20,000 of them can leave and it won't affect your income one penny. You know why? Because we don't get paid from people. We get paid from nodes. Absolutely phenomenal. And the trip part is even the 20,000 that left in that scenario, they're still getting paid too, because there's no human intervention in our product and service. It's all on the blockchain and locked in on smart contracts, right? So understand also, you purchase this product one time. There are no monthly fees. You don't have to go back there and click a button and all that stuff. It's completely hands off. You purchase it one time and the product pays you. Let's get into this. Now, the product we've been talking about are our software CPU nodes, right? What they do is they validate transactions on the network, just like the gentleman explained in the first video. And here's the cool thing. You get started tonight. You acquire a node. Well, when your node gets paid, I'm not going to make any more. I've been in several months before you. You're going to earn the exact same amount I earn. Are you mean is the playing field been leveled or what? Because as the gentleman explained in the first video, all the funds go in the cloud and then it's dispersed amongst all nodes evenly, right? Your funds are deposited daily in our native token called the Phoenic token. We don't even hype up our token. Those of you that are already in, you see what the token is doing, right? Have you ever seen anybody say hype it up? No, because if our Phoenic token, number one, is the gas for our entire ecosystem, we already know what's going to happen with it. And you see it happen now. We don't have to hype people up, because you know what's funny? People get a node and they get in and they automatically go, they say, yeah, well, I got a node and then I got a few $100s worth of that token as well. It's a no-brainer when you have something that's real, right? And the cost of a node, it's not 11,000 like the guy said in the video. He had 11,000. You can get 11,000 worth, but you can get a node for just $1,200 one time. Now, you want to hear the exciting part? You pay $1,200 for a node one time. Right now, we have a special that is going on. Let me, you know what? I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do first. I want to show you our Christmas special first. No, I'm going to break this down. Then I got to hold the Christmas special off for y'all. How about that? I know somebody said, man, let me see the Christmas special. What's wrong with you? So let me share this with you. Where's my internet? Let me move this thing. It's in the way. Boom. There we go. So, wow, all of my internet stuff. Oh, boom, there we go. Scared me for a second. I'm like, where are my videos? Here we go. All right. So this is our back office. I want you to pay attention over here. Matter of fact, let me do what I had to do the other day. Let me move that over. I know this looks kind of corny, right? But I want you to pay attention right here. Hopefully it's not off your screen. Remember, I just told you, you purchase one node for $1,200. Well, we have a special going on, ladies and gentlemen. Please pay attention to this. One node is $1,200, but when you buy one CPU node, they're going to give you two more for free. Now, you get with the person that invited you and make sure, because this is limited. There's a limited time to get this special. So what that means is, now I see why I was going back and forth a little bit, because I wanted to make sure. Let's see here. I want to give you the breakdown first. So you know we got a special. You buy one and get two, right? Let's do a little math on what you'll earn from the node first. How about we do that? Understand there's an 80-20 split. As you can see here, there's an 80-20 split from the purchase of the CPU node. I get excited when I get to this part, guys. I wanted to jump right in and let y'all know the good news of the special. But let's let you know the type of income you can make from a node first, shall we? All right, here we go. Now, I've already proven to you that we have 100 million merchants globally under contract, right? Right? All right, well, I see I got to prove a little more to somebody. Let me break this down to you very quickly as well. All right, here we go. So I already told you the platforms that we have contracts with. We already showed you NCR. Let me get this a little neater here. Guys, they know I'm low tech, high check, so bear with me. All right, do you remember I mentioned NCR? This is NCR's website. Do any of these platforms look familiar to you at all? Anybody ever shopped at Walmart, Home Depot, bought gas from BP? That's NCR's website, not ours. Well, I also told you we have PAX. I already showed you Ingenico. Well, PAX themselves, you see, this is PAX's website. They have, let's let that counter stop, over 110 million devices globally themselves. We already have them contracted. Well, remember I mentioned Verifone as well. Look up top here. This is Verifone's website. Verifone does over 8 trillion transactions are processed a year. And do any of these companies look familiar to you? Guys, are you kidding me? We already have them contracted. So now, again, let's take a look at these numbers. So I think I can definitely get you to agree that we have over 100 million merchants already globally. What's insane about it, what I didn't tell you, was I'm not even including the fact that we have the 5th largest airport contracted already as well. I'm not even including in this number the fact that we also have Shopify contracted already as well. Some of you guys heard that on our global update call yesterday. And I'm also not even going to include the fact that we have the largest airport in the world that's being built in Bucharest with a smart city around it, where Miracle Pay is already contracted to cover the entire city and the new airport. I'm not even going to include that in those numbers. All right. So we're going to say if we had 100 million merchants globally under contract. Now, this is where I'm going to make the numbers ridiculous. I'm going to do what they call breaking it down to the ridiculous. This is Derek Brown 101. It's hypothetical, but this example is ridiculously low because we know we would never just have 10% of 100 million merchants offering cryptocurrency as a form of payment. Are you with me? But I want to make it a little realistic for you so when you start getting paid from your node, you're pleasantly surprised. Is that fair? So 10% of those merchants offering cryptocurrency as a form of payment, that's 10 million merchants. Let's say they're doing 2 transactions a day at $100 each, right? This is going to be simple math. That is 2 billion a day in merchant sales. Are you kidding me? Anywhere in this equation did we say, oh, the market was up or we lost 40% in the market today, so our accounts are, haywire? No. Transactions are going to continue to happen as long as you and I are on this planet and long after we're gone. 2 billion that one day in this ridiculously low example in merchant sales, right? Miracle Pay doesn't charge what Visa, MasterCard, and all these other companies charge. They only charge 2% is their transaction fee. So that's what? 40 million in revenue that day. Now, let's see what you and I are going to eat off that 40 million. So understand 30% is paid out to you and I as node owners, right? That's 12 million a day. Well, there's going to be an 80-20 split. 80% going to the node holders, which is you and I, 20% going to your downline. Are you kidding me? Now, there are only 210,000 CPU nodes available, right? Once those are gone, they're gone. We have other ones, but in this example, we're talking about our original CPU node. So that would be $45.71 a day. Are y'all with me? Which is $16,685 a year. So this is where I got excited and jumped ahead of myself. Then when I showed you, if I'm giving you this ridiculously low example, and it's $16,000 a year, and you pay $1,200 one time, if you bought one node and you're getting 2, what would be the math on that? Well, let's pull out our trusty calculators. And remember, you see on your screen 16,685. Then we're going to multiply it times 3 because of the special we have right now. Did I mess up? There we go. That comes out to a little over 50,000, right? Hopefully you guys can see that. Oh, I messed up. Well, you do the math. No, I'm not going to do that. Times 3. I knocked it off when I spun it around. There we go. It's a little over 50,000, right? You see that? So that's what you taking advantage of this special. And remember, this was a ridiculously low what? Example. But check this out, family. Look at this. What if you were smart enough? Why does that thing keep getting in my way? Let's see here. There we go. All right, so that's if you bought 1 CPU node. Well, what if you bought 3 CPU nodes for $3,600? They're going to give you 6. Are you kidding me? Well, let's do the basic math on that. That's 16,685 times 6 equals, I'm sorry, times 9. Y'all got me excited tonight for some reason. I don't know what's going on. That would be times 9. Would equal, now you're in the six-figure club. And listen, remember this, remember this. Did you recruit a soul? Did you even attend another meeting? No, you just had enough common sense and didn't let your ego get in the way, and you purchased our 3-pack special right now. Well, down here, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a 7-pack. That means if you purchase 7 nodes, remember they're $1,200 a piece, that's $8,400, but they've got the audacity to give you 14 more for free. Somebody's not going to sleep tonight. That's $16,685 times 21. Ladies and gentlemen, you're making over $350,000. And you didn't drive across country to go to no meeting. You didn't do anything. You just used some common sense and purchased a node. I think y'all are starting to feel me a little bit. So now, what I want to do is I want to play a quick video because we have a Christmas special going on that is absolutely mind-blowing. Let me play this quick Christmas special video, and then I'm going to break something else down to you all. And of course, Murphy Law kicked in, and I removed my video, but I know I got it right here. Here we go. Pay close attention and turn your speakers up. Here is our Christmas special.
Bellator is here, the biggest digital gift of the year. Bellator is here, the biggest digital gift of the year. Fidelity Guardian Miracle CPU, 4,000 mirrors plus 402. Drop a 6 grid, keep the dream alive. 2,500, come catch the vibe. Bellator is here, the biggest digital gift of the year. Bellator is here, the biggest digital gift of the year.
Bellator Life. To your legacy.
Absolutely phenomenal. I love that ending part. Absolutely love that. Our Christmas special. Ladies and gentlemen, now, you know us reps that have been in for a while, we're tripping out about this because we're like, they're allowing them to get a Guardian node. These are our 2 Christmas specials. What you saw was the Bellator Life Christmas box, where you're getting 400 Mirix tokens, the Guardian node, one CPU node, and a convertible Italy node, right? The convertible Italy node is the only entity that will allow you to be able to convert the majority of your nodes into shares. With the half convertible Italy node, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get a bunch of nodes. That comes in that, this is one of the 4 nodes that you're getting, but it allows you to choose by October of 2026 to convert some of them into shares, and now you're getting paid from the entire ecosystem. Are you kidding me? And the retail value on that is like $6,500 and change. You're getting it for $2,500. Let me share something with you. Just the, I forget which one, the Guardian node. Let me show you. I need to remember where it is. The Guardian node by itself. Let's take a look here. Oh, it's going to make me re-log in. But I want you to see, and I can definitely show you on the next one. Made some money, okay. Y'all weren't supposed to see that. And then, matter of fact, I know, so instead of clicking, I don't want to click off this screen. Now we have the Bellator Life Big Christmas box as well. With this one, you're getting everything I just mentioned, plus a Phoenic code node. the Phoenic code node, and it's going to take me because it says Phoenic code node right here. The Phoenic code node by itself, ladies and gentlemen, how much is it? $5,000 for the Phoenic code node. And again, you're getting what? You're getting the Phoenic code node plus a half Guardian node plus a CPU node. Plus a half Italy convertible node and a Guardian node and 400 Murex tokens for $5,000. Are you kidding me? So this is something you want to take advantage of because it's ending when? Christmas, obviously, right? So I wanted you guys to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Let me now wrap this up because as I told you, I want to do something super special for you guys tonight. So understand that you have a phenomenal opportunity to acquire something that we didn't even have a chance to acquire. And that is either one of the Christmas packages, but also the special on the CPU nodes, where you buy one and they're going to give you two more and so on and so forth. That's a phenomenal opportunity. You buy three, they're going to give you six. Mind blowing. Absolutely mind blowing. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to break down in training on the comp plan, but I do want to show you this because I want you to see that no other company in the industry is able to do what Bellator is doing for us, right? So I'm going to break these down. These are our ranks. But what I want you to see, so we have difference maker, we have winner, leader, champion, right? And then legend. Well, when you get to champion, there's a pool where champion and legends only share in. This is why I'm going to actually also show you guys how to hit champion quick, because there's a $50 million leadership pool that only champions and legends share into. Are you kidding me? So if you're halfway thinking about building this business, our goal is to show you how to get to champion cat quick before that door closes, right? So 3 ways to get started as we wrap up. Obviously, I'm not you, but if I was, I would have been texting the person already that invited me, telling them to send me their link. Because when I break this comp plan down, you're going to see why that's important. And I'm going to drop it on you now, as a matter of fact. Understand, there's somebody on who's going to say, well, I'm going to need to talk to my spouse first, right? Well, what's going to happen is that person is going to end up under those of you who take action tonight. And whether you know them or not, you're going to get paid from them. Because our compensation plan, again, which I'm going to cover tonight, is the best of both worlds. Some companies just offer a unilevel, where everybody you sponsor on your first level, everybody they sponsors on your second, everybody they sponsors on your third, right? The most solid foundation to build for an organization to build and gives longevity as well. We got that. But then one of the fastest ways to get paid is through a binary, where you have a left team and a right team. And everybody else you sponsor has to go under one of those first two individuals, left leg, right leg, and it causes you to receive potentially something called love from above or spillover. Guess what? We have that too. We have a dual compensation program. When people who are in the industry understand what Bellator has, it's going to be a wrap. There's going to be a vortex that's caused when people just recognize this isn't just another one of those things. So that's why I would get the link of the person that invited me and sign up now, because it's free to sign up, right? But then, of course, you want to purchase your node, right? $1,200 one time. I just showed you right now, when you purchase one node, you're going to get 2 more for free, right? And then you want to make sure that you share this opportunity with at least 3 people. Well, we're blazing right through the holidays, guys. As you can see, the shipping slowing down here. So tomorrow at 2:00, it'll be myself and my business partner. You have an opportunity to now get your business partners or friend, family members, coworkers, whatever. Give them an opportunity to see. Most people are starting to be off work, and so on, so forth now. Tomorrow afternoon, you can have them have an opportunity to take a look. And it'll be at 1 or 2:00. The person that invited you will let you know for sure. Okay? But the reason why I say that is we move quick. But number 2, for every individual that you personally introduce that acquires a node, you'll make a minimum of $225. I've seen people pay for their node within 24 hours because they introduced a few people. Absolutely phenomenal, right? And I said a minimum of 225 because I'm going to break that down in the comp plan as well, because it could be more based on what the individual purchases that you introduce. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what I'd like to do now is introduce you to our CEO and our chairman of the board. Why is that important? Because so many things out here, ladies and gentlemen, never showed you one. You only met one dude sitting in the office and you didn't meet him. It was a picture of him on a website. You know what I realized too? The more a company talks about the accreditation and all this stuff, and we're located in the Maldives Island, the faker it is. Real companies don't. When you go to Google or IBM, do they try to prove to you that they're a real company? They don't have to do that. They have simple things in place to validate it. Well, I realize if you got to use a CPN, no, not a CPN, a VPN, chances are it's probably fake. There's so many red flags that we saw over the years, but we were being blind to it because people were making fast money. At some point, we have to stop. How many times are you going to let the same dog around the corner bite you? After the third time, it's your fault, right? It's your fault. So, with that being said, I almost forgot what I said I was going to do. Here we go. I want you to first meet our CEO. He has his own website, hakantoran.com. Spelt, this is how his name is spelled, but you can see it right there, hakantoran.com. Well, this is Mr. Toran, and you can go here and see everything about him right on his website. I was waiting for his picture to flash. There he is, sitting at the conference table at the office, right? And with that, you can scroll through this website and see everything about Mr. Toran. You can see everything about our ecosystem as well. But I want to share with you now our corporate website. Then we're going to wrap up and switch gears. This is our corporate website, Metaterra.com. Our entire ecosystem is under Metaterra, okay? So you can go here, you can see about our investor relations, you can see everything about us, but I want you to make sure you go. Oh, let me show you this real quick, show you where we're located, all right? Metaterra Holdings is at 45 Rockefeller Plaza in New York City. Was just there a few days ago. Then we have our corporate office in North Cyprus, and we just opened an office in Dubai. And guess what? Our chairman of the board is about to open up a sister company right there in Dubai as well. Are you kidding me? So let's look at the leadership. Right here, you'll see our fearless CEO, Mr. Hakan Toran. And you can just click through this. You click this arrow. It'll drop everything down. I'm not going to take time to read all that. And then you can see here our legal and finance team, but our advisory board is where I want to slow down and share with you for a moment. Doug Anderson is the chairman of our board. He's a Wall Street veteran with 25 million in underwriting authority and hundreds of millions raised in private equity. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Douglas Anderson owns a company called Wall Street Capital on Wall Street. This is the first time in this home-based business space that not just invested in an opportunity, but has literally come together with. You need to understand that. We've gotten the attention of Wall Street. Then he's brought a super board together. We call them the Super Friends. Mr. Stephen Moore, a globally recognized economist, author, and senior economic advisor to political campaigns. Let me make that plain for you. The last political campaign that he advised is the current administration, right? As a matter of fact, the president, Donald Trump, asked him if he could be the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Stephen Moore turned it down. He just simply told him he wanted to remain in the private sector, but he said yes to being on Metaterra's board. And you're still scratching your head. He turned down the president of the United States to be chairman of the Federal Reserve, but said yes to being on the board of Metaterra. We have Fernando Vidasola. His family became billionaires through Kenworth Trucking. You've seen those Kenworth trucks. Matter of fact, they use them and lease them for everything. I've seen them all around the world. Well, this is the family that owns that. But in addition to that, he's the president of a leading Mexican customs firm, and he's an expert in cross-border trade and blockchain applications. He's also a senator with the Mexican government, has dual citizenship in Mexico and here, and he sits on the board of Metaterra. John Bayer. John Bai has 30 years of global experience with 500 plus million raised in contracts in 41 countries. Let me make it plain. John Bayer is the reason why we have cell phones, not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a phenomenal marketer. John Bayer is the reason why we have cell phones, and he's the reason why Google is an operational business. Do your research. And Stephen Norris, his stuff is so big. You ever heard of the Carlyle Group? You ever heard of Marriott? We're talking about somebody who's part owner of all that. And he's connected with BlackRock as well. Are you kidding me? And you're gonna talk about you need to do some research. There's no way you could say that to the person that invited you to this opportunity. You need to do some research. Oh, so you're gonna go to Google and YouTube after we shared with you that Doug Anderson, a Wall Street veteran, has already checked this company out and decided to become chairman of the board and brought the super friends with him. Do you think he has a few more resources than you and I to make sure a platform is what it's supposed to be? And would he attach his name and then bring along his billionaire friends? Are you kidding me? So now, what I want to do, make sure you write that website down so you can do some real due diligence, not just jump on Google and YouTube, right? So now I want you to hear from Mr. Anderson, and then I'm going to switch gears. And if you got to go after this, that's fine. But you definitely want to see this very quickly. All right, here we go. So this is the chairman of our board, Mr. Doug Anderson, on a show called New to the Street that comes on every single week on your television station. And he's at the New York Stock Exchange in New York City on the stock exchange floor speaking on Metaterra. Turn your speakers up. This is the last clip I got to show you. Then we're going to close out and switch gears.
And a warm welcome today to the Wall Street Capital segment of New to the Street. I'm Janet Alvarez, your host here from the iconic New York Stock Exchange. We're joined today by a very special guest, Doug Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital Management. Doug, how are you today?
Great to be here. Thank you.
Doug, there's so much history here at the New York Stock Exchange, and I feel like people like yourself are rooted in the traditional exchanges, in the traditional world of finance. How did you decide to make the leap to crypto?
So it wasn't hard. I mean, we are looking at the numbers, and as recent as like 7 years ago, I think we're looking at 3 billion transactions in that space. Today, we're looking upwards of 70 billion. Wow. So the growth is phenomenal, and it's something that can't be ignored. And people on this floor here are not ignoring it. They're looking at it very closely. And so we're following it, and we're looking for special companies that are cutting edge, that have something that we think is going to be catch fire, let's say, and grow exponentially. And when something grows exponentially, of course, investors can profit from that multiple.
Absolutely. So for our audience that isn't yet familiar with Miracle, tell us about Miracle. What is it? Where is it founded?
So the holding company for Miracle is Metaterra, and Miracle is one of their software assets. Metaterra is a company that we're working with, and we're interested in listing that on the stock exchange. It'll be a holding company for various software assets that they've developed. The first one being Miracle Pay. So you've noticed when you go to a store or a restaurant or what have you, these PAX or Ingenico machines, they're handheld by the server or at the point of purchase, and you wave your card over it or your Apple Pay, and the system reads it and the transaction happens instantly. What's different in this case is it enables a crypto wallet to do the same thing, and it's been approved by those companies, Ingenico and PAX, and those two companies represent the largest number of machines out there. So that's maybe 40 million machines across Europe, for example. And so that is a big deal to us. And when we saw that, we realized, hey, we better jump on this thing right away and do what we can to catch the train and not be standing at the station.
Hey, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Do what you can to catch the train and not be left standing at the station. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, we have types of people. The number three person says, listen, this sounds great, Derek, but it's not for me. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for taking time out of a beautiful Sunday evening right before the holidays. And I do have to say this for the person that invited you. I say this to everybody. Right now, we're not looking for everybody. We're only looking for people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sick and tired of the rug pulls, the scams, sick and tired of leadership with no integrity, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to take time to thank the person that invited you because they actually showed you an opportunity that can change the financial direction of your family for generations. So make sure you do that. And then at the very least, make sure you let them know who you know that may be interested in this. Number two person has questions. Number two person, you want to stick around because we're going to do a quick start training. Also, number two person, if you have questions, listen, the first thing you want to do is if you're serious about your questions, then get positioned, get signed up because it doesn't cost a thing to get signed up. Go through the website. You have all the access we have. There's no bit of information that we'd be able to keep back from you or anything because you have full access by doing so. Now your questions will be in the right direction. Who this presentation was for is the number one person who said, Derek, you could have shut up 30 minutes ago when you told me I can acquire a digital vending machine that I purchased one time, but is going to pay me for life, and then I can sell it for profit, or I could will it to my family. I was in, right? Well, to that number one person, I want to be the first to congratulate you and taking the first steps in securing your financial future for life. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, be sure you get back with the person that invited you, get their link right now and get plugged in. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch gears. If you got to go, I understand. But if you want to hang around and see how people are changing their zip code in a record amount of time with Bellator, because listen, we love our investors. People just, pardon me, guys, the majority of our people literally just say, hey, man, I want to get some no's for sure. That's a no-brainer, whether they're doing other things or not. Business, individuals, everybody. It just makes sense for them to get no's. But then there are those of us and those of you who have the heart condition to share. Because if I was your friend, family member, or coworker, or business partner, and I saw your life changing because you acquired some no's and you didn't tell me, I would be a little disgruntled with you. I'm going to share that with you right now, right? So, but we do have a lot of people. Here's what's funny about our investors. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how powerful this thing is. We have so many people that say, no, I don't want to do, that MLM stuff. I don't want to do it. That's fine. And, most people don't understand. This thing is so easy. It's a joke. But hey, to each his own. But it still makes sense for them to acquire nodes, right? You know what starts happening? They end up doing the business by default because they have other investor friends who want to get nodes as well. And then those folks you see what I'm saying? So, but we love it either way. You don't have to, it's your choice. So again, I want to make sure that you understand that there's also a phenomenal compensation program tied to this in addition to what you're earning from your nodes. So let's jump into that right now. And I love doing training because it's a different flow, different energy, and the whole nine. And then what I'm also going to show you guys tonight is how to properly structure out to get to champion cat quick. As a matter of fact, I'm going to flash this to you. This is a sheet that I'm going over tonight to show you how you just keep up with boom, 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 and you go to champion. See, what people understand, if you don't have a roadmap, you're shooting in the dark. And we already have the roadmap for you. So that's going to be a little bonus I'm going to touch on tonight. Let's jump into this comp plan so we can get to that and then wrap up. All right. So understand, this comp plan is powerful, simple, and fair. One of the things I love about it. And it's being enhanced as I speak, and it's being enhanced to our benefit. I'm like, it's already ridiculous, but they're literally enhancing this thing. So let's see here. Don't know why the slide's not changing. Let me try one more again. If not, I may just have to go through each individual slide. Let me try one more time, guys. Boom, there we go. Compensation plan basics. First of all, I want you to understand, as I told you, it's a free registration. It doesn't cost you a dime to sign up. That's why I tell people, you got questions, register, go through the site, and then let's talk, right? Now, you're eligible to earn, this is something that you don't hear in the presentation. You're eligible to earn from 3 levels in our unilevel plan for registering for free. So you can get paid 3 levels down in our unilevel, meaning you can build an organization and even get paid from nodes, and you didn't even purchase a node. Now, it's the comp plan. I don't push it because I believe you should own what you're talking about. However, let's say if you're just in dire straits or whatever, and you need to work your way to it, they're going to give you an opportunity to do so. Do you see how this company's leveled the playing fields? No games being played. And you can only do that if you know you got the goods for real, right? Rank advancement unlocks more levels. So you're getting 3 off the rip before you spent a dime. You get paid for 3 levels. Now ranking unlocks more levels. This is why we show people how to get through these ranks cat quick, right? So difference maker, you earn from 5 levels. Winner, which is the next level, I'm going to show you how to get to each one of those, unlocks 10 levels of pay. And leader, you earn from all 15 levels. And then obviously champion and legend, which are the top 2, is 15 as well. You maxed out, all right? Unilevel commission example, 20% of node earnings and 50% of service fees go into the plan, right? Example, $10 node earnings. So check this out. $2 go into the plan. You earn 10% of the $2, that's 20 cents. See, this is why you see, as you start building a huge, wide-reaching organization, the reason why you can start making thousands of dollars a day if you're coachable and teachable is understanding your comp plan like the back of your hand, right? Transaction fees, right? So this was 20% of the node earnings and 50% of gas fees, but now we have transaction fees. 50% of service fees like card usage and some other things are all commissionable. So we have our own card as well. We don't even hike that up that much, right? So an example is this: a $3 fee, right, costs $1. The commissionable fee, $2. $1 to the plan, which is 50 cents. If the earnings from the ninth level at 10% equals 10 cents, that's on the ninth level, guys. That means you got paid as well on the 8th, 7th, 6th, 5, 4. Do you see what I'm saying? And so additional services, new services will contribute to the 15th level of the unilevel plan as well. Now, here's how you start unlocking the levels and what it means to you from a financial perspective. So higher ranks unlock more earnings in the 15 level payout plan. Yes, 15 levels. So a difference maker, and I'm going to show you, like I wish they would have put this in a different order, because for you talk about a position, you need to know what a difference maker is. Make sense? That's just my little, I'm just I used the word idiot savant before when it comes to this business. I don't know if that's politically correct, but I just judge everything. So a difference maker, you become a difference maker by you acquiring a node and then having a person on your left and a person on your right, 2 people that also have a node, right? And you're a difference maker. Are you kidding me? You can do that tonight. And as you can see here, you unlock your 5 levels. See the purple line and then the purple circle? Now you unlock 5 levels because you were getting 3 automatically. You can see here, follow my mouse, you're getting paid 5% on the first level, 4 on the second, 4 on the third, 5 on the fourth, 6 on the fifth. Huge. Now, when you become a winner, That simply means you have three difference makers and three separate legs. So I'm telling you stuff that's on the next slide probably, but you need to know what a winner is, right? Just understand a winner, see the goal line, follow the goal circle, opens 10 levels. You see what the percentages are, right? Leader unlocks all 15. And then that's automatic for the next two positions as well, right? But I'm going to show you, remember, how to get the champion, which is the leader, which is the position after leader, cat quick, right? So look at this. Start for free with 3 levels. Example, someone in your downline at the 8th level earns $100 from their node. 20% will be allocated to the compensation plan, which is $20. As someone who registered for free or a difference maker, you would not be eligible for payout. Did you get that? So as a winner or leader, you would get 10%. That's why you have to unlock the levels to get additional payout. Because what was the point? The point was someone you're downline on your 8th level. Remember, you're only getting 3 levels for free and then the 5th level as a winner, right? Down to 5 levels. See, some people, because you were just saying, I thought you said, no, that's why you got to just pay attention. It's simple. So as someone who registered for free or a difference maker, you would not be eligible for a payout. As a winner or leader, you would get 10% of that, $20, which is $2, right? So now let's move on. It's simple stuff when it's explained, right? So 5 ways to earn, guys. And I'm not going to bust this thing up, but it's actually, but there's 5 ways to earn. We have a 15-level pay plan where you earn from daily node earnings and services. So that means that's daily pay 15 levels deep. That means, wait a minute, I'm not only getting paid for my node, but I'm getting paid for the nodes in my group as well. Ding, ding, ding. So direct commission based on product pricing and point value. Direct commission. Team binary profit paid on lesser leg volume. Matching bonuses earned from your referrals, meaning your direct individuals, binary profit. And I'm going to tell you that this binary is paying out like crazy. And then we have rank advancement bonuses. So let's dig into this. Here's the commission you get from when you share. Remember when I showed you the CPU nodes? Well, if somebody buys 1, they're getting 2 more nodes free, but technically 1 node was sold. You're going to earn $225. But if they get the 3-pack, right? They get the 3-pack, they got a total of 9 nodes because of the special, but 3 nodes were purchased, you're going to get $700. That means if you had me on this call tonight, I said, man, that 3-pack makes sense. Boom, you just made $700 immediately, whether you own a node or not. I hate to throw that in and remind you, but it's just a fact. If they got the 5 nodes, you made 1,175. If they purchase 7 nodes, you make 1,715. They get 10 CPU nodes. You make 24. Do you see this? Somebody gets 25. And we have this happen every day. Somebody gets 25 CPU nodes. This is why you never prejudge anybody, guys. You never prejudge anybody. You better make sure everybody you know sees the blessing of Bellator. $6,275. They get 50. You made $12,750. Boom, right off the bat. And that's just direct commission from them getting the CPU node. Now, here we go. Binary base points. The points in the binary that add up for you to get paid from your lesser leg. Are you with me? So if somebody buys a full node, right? So somebody buys, we have no more mini nodes, so scratch that. Mini nodes are sold out, like they're gone for good. So somebody buys a node, not only did you make the 225, but you're also going to have $400 400 points pop up in your back office. You see what I'm saying? Somebody buys a 3-pack, that's 3 times 400 points. Somebody gets a 7-pack, right? That's 7 times 400 points. Now you're going to see why you want to make sure you balance your legs out and you just keep balancing them out. I'll get to that. And I kind of went over that and when I did the structure thing the other day. But this is where your binary money is coming from these points of nodes that are being acquired. Then what happens is you get paid from your lesser leg, which means you're going to get 10% of whatever the number is in your lesser leg. Then the ways to increase your income, right? So you start out at 10% getting paid, but the way to increase your income, your binary profit income, remember we have a unilevel and a binary. The way to increase your binary profit is you have to increase your personal sales volume. So some of y'all are stuck at a certain percentage because you haven't been increasing your personal sales volume. So now, if you got 10,000 in personal sales volume, you get bumped up to 12% from your lesser leg. When you get to 20,000 in your personal sales volume, 14%, 30,000, 16, 40,000, 18, 50,000 in personal sales volume, 20% payout from your lesser leg. That's powerful. So here's an example. Real simple, guys. If you got 30,000 plus, right, points, and this is an example. Somebody gets a 3-pack. That's 1,200 points, right? 1,200 BP. You made $700 in direct. Are you with me? Directly, the direct sales bonus, remember, because they bought the 3-pack. And then in the binary profit, you're at 16% because you got what? 30,000 PSV means what? Personal sales volume. You're at 30,000, which means you're getting 16%. So your personal sales volume, you hit 30,000, you're getting 16% of those 1,200 points. But then they flip that equation into money, $192. Boom for you. So that's the 700 plus the 192. You made 892 that day. That day. And that's just one person that bought a pack. So now, team sales example. You ready? Remember, you're at personal volume of 30,000. This is your team sales. 2 sales, 2,400 points, right? Remember, you're at 16%. On top of this, now you made $384. Do you see how this starts becoming lucrative? Now, to earn binary profit, you must achieve what? Difference maker rank. Higher daily caps require higher rank, all right? Rank qualification and daily caps, meaning the maximum you can make a day from your binary. That's what you got to remember. They're not capping out all the other stuff. This is from the binary. As a difference maker, you got a $100 daily cap, right? And then it's showing you buy a $1,200 node or sell 4, meaning you can sell 4 nodes and get qualified. Now, I don't suggest that because it seems like it takes a long time to activate when you sell a 4 nodes. Everybody needs to own a node, in my opinion. That's Derek Brown 101, right? So when you have 1 full node sold on each leg, that's not self-purchase. So, what that reminded me of is you don't even have to, that means you didn't buy it. That's somebody else purchased one on your left, somebody else purchased one on the right. It's that simple. You're a difference maker. Your daily cap is $100 in the binary. So winner, your daily cap is 200, right? How do you become a winner? Personally sponsor 3 difference makers. That's all you got to do. You got 3 people, they got 2 people, and everybody has at least 1 node. You have 3 people in 3 different legs that have 2 people, and you're a winner, right? Your daily cap is $200. Leader, to become a leader, you need 3 winners in 3 separate legs. Here's the cool thing. You don't even have to personally sponsor them as long as they're in 3 separate legs. So now this has been increased. Your daily cap is 2,000, right? Champion, 3 leaders in 3 separate legs, $5,000 daily cap. Legend, 25,000 daily cap, right? To be a legend, you just got 3 champions, 3 separate legs. That's the easiest stuff. Now, the check matching bonus is very simple. Condition 1, your rank-based matching percentage means based on whatever rank you are is the percentage you're going to receive in check matching bonus. So difference maker, you're going to get 5%, winner 10. Do you see why you want to hurt and go through these ranks? Winners 10%, leaders 15, champions 20, legends 25 that you're going to receive in a check match based on what rank you are. The second condition is the node-based matching cap, okay? If you have 1 node, it's up to 15%, that they purchase. The 3-pack is up to 20%. This ain't what you have. This is what's purchased, okay? 3-pack up to 20%, 7-pack up to 25%. So an example, a legend with 7 nodes, and I take that back. I flipped that in my brain when I studied that. This is what you own, okay? what you own also determines what you're going to earn. So an example, Legend, I'm sorry about that. A Legend that has 7 nodes, the referrer earns 10,000. So that's $2,500, and that's 25% of it. You get that? So what's 25% of 10,000? $2,500. Does that make sense? A Legend with 7 nodes, the referrer earns 10,000. So the person that sold it, they made 10,000. Your rep made 10,000. And because you are Legend with 7 nodes, you got a 7-pack, you got 25% of that 10,000, you made 2,500. You got that now, right? So now you're a Legend, but you got 1 node. I hope you can see that. My thing is blocking it on my Zoom. A Legend with 1 node, and you can see it. A Legend with 1 node is ticking me off because I can't. There we go. A Legend with 1 node, it would have been, if you had 1 node, it would have been 1,500 because you would have earned 15% because you only have 1 node. So do you see why it's important for us to be a product of the product? Legend is the top of the company. They just give you a mathematical example based on being a Legend. But if you're a winner or a difference maker, you want to be a product of the product. You want to have as many nodes as you can, right? Now, that's the freestyle progression. I'm not going to cover that because, as I told you personally, I feel everybody needs to acquire a node. But you know what? It's in the comp plan. Let me cover it. It hit my spirit that quick. You could register for free and earn 3 levels deep. You could sell and earn direct commissions, right? This is a free registry. You can sell 4 nodes to 4 different people and go active. See, it says coming soon. And this is older, but it still takes a minute. That's why I don't ever suggest this, right? And then others refer others, and you earn binary profit as well. It's basically like, the comp plan has been designed to where you don't have to purchase to get paid. But you do have to start going through the ranks to increase it, which is very fair. All right. But I suggest to everybody, you get in where you fit in and do like the rest of us did. Some people sold some stuff and did what they have to do. Now, there's something called a farm node that everybody asks about every now and then. These were really designed for the parts of the world where coming up with $1,200 would be like them giving up a yearly salary. It's not like that here in the U.S. You know what I mean? You can get up off your butt and go hustle up $1,200 if you're serious about changing your life. Well, in other countries, that's almost impossible to do. So the Bellator Farm Program is a stepping stone in Bellator Life, offering a low entry option to build income. You see, it's not going to say what I just said, but I'm telling you what it is, right? Earn rewards and work towards full participation in the Bellator system, right? So remember, we don't have mini nodes anymore. But you will receive $25 in direct commission. Now, you notice that's a big difference, right? You won't receive $225 because it's holding some of your commission till you build up to acquiring a node. So keep that in mind. Like if you have other countries, somewhere in wherever where it's like a third world country or something, well, they could come in with a farm node. I believe they're like $99 or something, but it's going to keep a portion of their commission, so to speak. So instead of receiving 225, they're going to receive 25. It's paid immediately, right? So it's paying 1/4 of what a full node pays out, right? And then here are the points. The points are lower and the whole 9. Everything is cut down. Their binary bonus, you see, they're only getting 6%, where if you start off almost with nothing, you're getting 10%, right? $1.98 binary commission per $99 sale. Then it talks about the numbers in the whole 9. So then it says here, 25% of the commission is going to savings wallet, a savings wallet. That's basically what I was explaining. And then it's applied towards your $1,200 Bellator Life package or node. So that can, that's somebody who's ready to work and get towards where they need to get in a country, I feel, where they wouldn't even be able to afford $1,200, right? You can see the max daily earning payouts, and then excess doesn't roll over. That's a big difference too, where ours rolls over, meaning the numbers that are left over in your binary, they roll over. They don't just, get ate up by the company. So the Bellator Farm No payout, this is the actual payout on it. I don't have to go through the payout as long as you understand how the structure works and what it does, right? So this is our credit card. I'm sorry, our card. We don't have a credit card. We have a crypto card. And what's funny about this is there's an entire comp plan attached to it people aren't familiar. Now, I think they're waiting for some final things, and this is why they're pushing the Christmas special and all that stuff. First of the year, the cards will be sent out and the benefits of these. So obviously, we have a $99 card, a $450 card, and a $550 card. There's some major difference in the benefits, correct? So with that, understand the powerful part about this is it has a 7-level compensation, meaning somebody purchases a card, right? The direct is $22 for the 99, 75 for the 450, and almost $100, $96 for the 550. But what's off the chain to me is they got a 7-level, so in other words, 7-level commission payout structure on it, meaning as your team members are purchasing and they're sharing with their team members going 7 levels down, you're earning as well. And here's the mind blowing part. As the card is used, there's a percentage that's going to roll up as well. That's going to be the insane part. So people forget that there's several other things going on in addition to the nodes. So what I want to do now very quickly is I want to go over, and congratulations, that's your Bellator compensation program. Very simple, but very, very robust. So now I want to cover this sheet. I actually have a video that I did on this. Let me make sure. Well, I'll show you the one that's filled in. So what this is this is your structure sheet. This is how you structure yourself to get the champion cat quick. Because all you need is 3 people. I don't want you guys to ever forget this. Wow, pardon me. All you need is 3 people to get to the top of this compound, right? So what you have to do is you have to identify those 3 people. Then once you identify them, guys, if you don't have something written down, then it's just an idea. When it's an idea, it's in what's called the ethers. And actually, it came from the ethers and came to your mind, and now it's an idea. When you write it down, that's the first step to manifesting it, because it came from the ethers to your mind as a thought or an idea, right? Think about it. It was in the ethers, comes to your mind as a thought. You capture it. When you wrote it down, that's the first stage to it manifesting, because it came from nowhere to somewhere. When you wrote it down, it can be seen. You brought it into another realm. Now all you have to do is put some action and energy and belief behind it to bring it from the paper into your life. What is that's it? People get all deep. It is that I just shared some laws with you. It is that simple. So this sheet will allow you to put in writing in front of you your structure, and you want to make sure you do it in paper, because I got a blank one I meant to share. As a matter of fact, in the private chat, I'm going to show the video where I went over this in detail, right, along with the sheet, because you need to print it out and have it out in front of you. And then you also need to have your 3 leaders, right? So in this case, David, Ralph, and Katie, I would have their sheet as well, because I need to know exactly where they are, because where I may need to assist them or call and encourage them. Hey, I see you only need, Howard to get one more person, and you're good to go. You see what I'm saying? You can encourage people in the whole 9. So again, you want to identify your 3 leaders. When you identify them, you write it in pencil on this sheet. And those 3 leaders go here, here, and here, because you're going to run those 3 people to champion. Are you with me? You're going to run, this is your roadmap to champion. You're going to run them to champion. So these 3 people need what? To be champion, they need 3 leaders. So David, this is his first leader. This is his second leader, and this is his third leader. And then each of these leaders need what? 3 winners, right? Did I say that wrong? Guys, y'all know I get goofy. Right. Each of those leaders need 3 winners. So match winner 1, match winner 2, match winner number 3. Right? And I kind of said that wrong because the next one is a difference maker, which means they would each need to have 3 difference makers. Right? So the reason why there's 2 on this third level is because actually this is showing you how to get the leader quick. Because when you get the 3 leaders, you're going to get the champion. All right, we want to get you the champion across that first finish line cat quick. So you identify these 3 individuals and make sure you write it in pencil. Because, for example, you have David has Tom here. Well, Tom may fade out. He might just stop building, and that's fine. Remember, they're still in the system, but the people on our chart need to be people that we know that are rolling, that are active. Very simple stuff. That's why you want to use pencil. Then you would just put somebody else in that spot. It's that simple. But now, and you know what? It's right in front of me. I got champion structure right here. I told you don't have to be smart. My mind always jumps to the next thing. So this is, champion structure. So you have David here. He has his 3. And even if you work it from the bottom. So obviously, this person here, if he has a person on his left and a person on his right, that made him a difference maker. And then this person has the same, he became a difference maker. This person has the same what? Look at it, a person on the left and the right. So if these are 3 difference makers, that just made Tom what? A winner. Are y'all with me? So then you have Tom is a winner. This person is a winner. This person is a winner. That means if David has 3 winners, he just became what? A leader. David's a leader. Ralph's a leader. Katie's a leader, which just made you a what? A champion. And then even if you have to have another sheet, right? If you have, and then once you get to champion, it's easy. You're just cranking it from that point, right? It's just a matter of time. And then understand you're always going to have individuals that go past this bottom, but you only need to focus on these first 3 levels. 1, 2, 3 levels. You just focus on those. There be people all off of this chart. You don't have to worry about that. You want to work on your solid core. You want to identify your 3 soldiers, David, Ralph, and Katie. So I'm going to show you what a blank one looks like. And like I said, I'm not going to go through this in detail because I have an entire video that I've done that I'm going to make sure, so you got to join so you can get put in the private chat so you can get to that video and get a blank sheet, which is what we have here. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, again, don't want to overcook your grits tonight. Listen, thank you so much for hanging in. We're going to grind right through the holidays, guys. You can see the companies having specials going on. Hey, the best gift you could give somebody this Christmas is the gift that keeps on giving, and that is a node. I want you to think about that. Sometimes we got to start thinking smart. We keep giving these frivolous gifts, shirt, ties, and all this other stuff. Get somebody a node, right? They may not understand it first, but trust me, in a few days, they're going to be thanking you for the rest of your life, all right? So with that being said, guys, wow, 91 people still on here. We're going to be doing this again tomorrow. It's going to be either 1 or 2 p.m. tomorrow. You'll find out within your personal chats. Be sure to start inviting your people. You can tell them, I don't know, it's going to be 1 or 2 o'clock tomorrow. I just need you to be ready, all right? It's going to be myself and my business partner that'll be hosting it. So again, my name is Derek Brown, guys. God bless. It's been a plum-pleasing pleasure. And we'll see you tomorrow afternoon. God bless all.